Share later. Thank you for being here. I am setting some intentions. I've been setting the container for this time together to include anybody who may come along and watch this replay or watch it on YouTube later. Thank you again for being here. I am going to be talking about our idea of sickness. I am going to be transmitting energetically whatever the mother and the Akashic need to stream through me in the moment. I'm going to share some personal revelation that I intend and greatly hope will be beneficial for you as an individual and then also as a collective. I'm also intending that the current level of breathability that I'm experiencing continue. As you may notice, my voice is a little bit scratchy. I am congested, but things are moving. And if this is the cost of the clearing that I have finally facilitated for myself, then it was very, very much worth it. And we're going to talk about some quantum theory, not anybody else's quantum theory, about me, the work I do, my conceptualization, my understanding as direct knowledge from the energy streams with whom I work. And then I'll touch on a few other things as well. I am intending to be somewhat brief for this live today. And the reason why is simply because I am getting over being ill and or unwell, and also because I have other things on my schedule today. So first of all, I want to say if you're new here, you're catching this replay later. My name is Sarah. You can find me on most social media at Sarah Descending. I am a depth quantum energy work practitioner, a mother, a human with significant remembrance and recall of full soul incarnations, and basically here to do some cleanup and change, hopefully change this world and be part of the apocalypse and the shift. So with that said, I want to just give set some intention first. Again, like I said, I'd already set the container. I intend that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I intend that there will be no portals of access created or granted without my conscious consent. I intend that my intellectual property and energetic and spiritual transmissions will be respected and treated as such and not offered by another without proper attribution. I intend that everybody who felt guided to watch this video or come to this live receive what they need from it. I also intend that those who are seeking parasocial connection come to realize that this is not an acceptable or appropriate way to build connection with people and understand the dynamic of respect, appropriate conduct, and the energetic and spiritual hierarchy that we're part of and that I represent. So that said, even though I have spent about 30 or 40 minutes setting the container privately, I'm officially inviting you into the container. Again, stating that no portals of access will be created. There will be no attempt to contain, restrain, or cage myself or my primary energy work collaborators and clients. And all of those attempts to restrict my work be identified as such by the energy streams I work with, and they will all fall flat. Again, I'm inviting you into the container with the intention that when this short live is over, we all leave the energy we came with. There will be no hooking or hoarding. unintentionally or intentionally. What has become very clear to me over the last few years that I have offered this work, as I talked to many of you about in private session, is that most of what I assist people with from a clearing perspective that has been directed to them or at them by other people is unconscious or unintentional. But intent does not erase harm. And I have talked about that at length on this account as well. You having good intent may soften harm that you cause another, but it does not erase it. So, again, we're all learning, growing, evolving, making our way to the remembrance of soul wholeness. And I also want to state that if there are any, if present now or later, is anybody who may be here on a soul or angelic mission to help purify, clarify, and refine soul shards of Nephilim or other such entities or energies that were not able to leave this realm for whatever reason. We intend that we assist in furthering that goal. And if this has gotten out of hand and the wrong personality is having majority control of the human body, my intention is that that individual will seek help in correcting this dynamic for myself, perhaps myself and Yael. I will talk about our raffle and joint offering here in a few. So again, thanks for being here. I'm going to go ahead and read my decree and invite you into the container. So I decree and declare that this container is created, infused, and protected by the essence and light, creator, great spirit, the holy and divine mother, father of the cosmos. I call in and thank with everlasting gratitude the mother, the womb and tomb, the original light that is the black magnetic light from which all other real, original, pure, verified light has been birthed. I also call in and thank with everlasting gratitude Yeshua as the living embodiment of the Spirit of the Christ. We thank you, these archetypes, these beings, they are both, for your modeling of the way, which is the compassionate, awakened womb, heart, and eventually mind. We thank all the ancestors, both past and future, of those present today for their space holding support and loving guidance. However, I firmly request that only ancestors who have come full circle in their path to soul evolution, who may be here on divine assignment with permission and direction from the higher angelic realms, may participate or guide this journey in any way today. We thank you again for your support and loving guidance. We are here to activate and build upon the wisdom codes that are every cell of these bodies. We presently embody the sum total of all who came before us, and all who will come after us. As such, in gentle yet firm declaration, all siphoning ancestral spirits, all other earth-bound spirits, disembodied humans, and other beings that are confused or in distortion, who cannot generate their own vital life force in this realm, all non-human intelligence and AI tracking that is without consent and being utilized and or being utilized for malevolent purposes, all demonic and alien oppression, suppression, possession, and attachments, lock-in attachments that are coming and going, all other etheric or energetic or technologies unknown or known to me and to you that are not present with consent. will be guided to the appropriate place for the energies they are composed of throughout this session today. So again, welcome. Thank you for being here. Excuse my kind of hoarse or froggy voice. I've been navigating clearing something that looks very much like what our culture or society today would call a virus. We could talk about the origins of viruses another time, but the perspective I want to share with you is that this actually came on the tail of significant personal work and clearing that I have been doing. I've mentioned that I do not offer in my alchemical depth quantum energy work practice anything that I have not spent significant time engaging in and doing myself. So as many of you know, I do spend multiple hours weekly on the personal radical accountability work that is depth quantum energy work. Much of that is done in collaboration with the amazing practitioner Yael 1111. Some of it is personal and individual, but much of it is done in this collaboration as when you find somebody that you can work with and do this level of transformation with, it is very helpful if you have someone you can trust to help pull you out on your own blind spots. And this is something that I'm coming across again and again with people. So I highly recommend that. Many of you also know I work fairly extensively with, as far as quantum and quantum shamanic work with Mike's Wild Herbs, his handle. So that's a little bit about sort of this origin for me deciding I felt well enough to come on camera and speak with you today. Is I'm doing this for me and for the betterment of my own physical, mental fullness of myself, not just in this body, but in all the bodies and not bodies this soul is also inhabiting within the quantum parallel nows, because I am a better mother. I am a better practitioner. I am able to more competently do all this important work I came here to do when I am engaging in it myself. And again, depth quantum energy work is the descent before there's any ascension or transcendence. It's the descent into self, into heart, into soul, and doing this work of inner transformation. I am going to try to keep this somewhat abbreviated. So I'm going to kind of move from that theory, why I do what I do. Many of you know I had a chronic pain condition that is actually what led me into finding all of this and coming into remembering why I was here and what I had agreed to do. So pain is often a catalyst. Take that wound, take that pain, and make it sacred. Caroline Miss calls it the sacred wound. And I definitely experienced that with a chronic issue that has been improved by about 96% through all of my endeavors and work. However, one thing that, unless you know me better, I would not have spoken about publicly is my neck and headaches that I've had for many, many years. And over the last few years, this condition had worsened, where C1 or the atlas was always rotating and shifting out to the right. And there was occasional significant headache that was related to this. And about a year ago, not only was this still occurring, oftentimes a nerve would get aggravated in such a way that it felt like my right ear was on fire or even potentially being ripped off my head. Now, this is something that I've been aware of for give or take 20 years. I have done all of the things, including lots of energy work and and quantum practices. So these headaches had again been increasing for me lately. And I just want to share with you that what has happened to me isn't a miracle, though we are a miracle. But what happened was that I finally set the intention that I had to decide, I had to determine I was ready to figure out what the root. And oftentimes I do need to say that when we say root cause, there are multiple root causes. Very seldom can we narrow any root cause down to just one thing, saying, oh, the root cause is inflammation or the root cause is trauma, is absolutely watering down and minimizing the fullness of the oneness of the human, of the soul, of the infinite, of the everlasting. So anyway, apparently I had to go through a pretty lengthy process. So I've done all the things. I've done diet changes, all of the stuff. Chiropractic for many years, soft tissue work such as fascial distortion model, which greatly helped my pelvis, and I was able to get my hips and pelvis back in place and in alignment with that wonderful modality several years ago. And while these things as would make my neck feel better, it didn't hold, it didn't last, and this would always rotate out again. And so a month or so ago, I decided I was going to really get to the bottom of this and made sure to include it in like daily practice. So if I was engaging in intuitive or clearing work, it was looked at. The neck and head were looked at. And of course, there are multiple factors. I am frequently, there is some targeting because of the level of work that I have initiated into that I'm able to facilitate in terms of helping people back into their freedom and sovereignty. But aside from that, this very real physical thing that was interfering, and we are layered. You are not just one body. You are so many bodies. And this body that you're in, that I'm in, is in constant connection and energetic engagement with all parts of you. I am certain of it. And if you are not, I offer to you that you're just not aware that you are, so that you can become aware of that infinite communication, the wholeness of you. So a few weeks ago, I think it was a few weeks ago, week before last maybe, I was in session and just all of a sudden, without having to relive anything, saw existences in which I was shot with an arrow in the neck. And when I say I, in this instance, I mean it lightly, because it does not matter to me whether I lived these lives that I'm remembering, or if it's something that is templated within the genetic structure of the body or bodies that I am in, or that's part of the collective consciousness that I am holding in my body now to address and clear. So I saw one life, very just super brief, shot in the neck, right there with an arrow, and another one in which I was hanged. There was significant. It was just instant, but it was the beginning of knowing what was going on and why none of the physical and tangible and energetic steps I had taken thus far had addressed this issue that I've had longer term. So that was helpful. And I believe that was actually in one of my own personal QH sessions, which I think I'll be sharing to YouTube later today. So do keep an eye out. I'll be posting a few new videos to my YouTube channel for those of you who are interested in session segments, both ones I facilitate and then ones where I'm functionally acting as client. And that was helpful. Like that initial information was helpful. I understood that I was dealing with some kind of very nuanced, very layered, potentially templated, potentially carrying something for the fullness of the human collective, or even other types of consciousness, or potentially womankind, because that hanging, I was female in both of those incarnations I was shown, and the hanging was another presentation of the witch wound. So being killed because I knew how to use plants and herbs and natural medicines. But I was shown very, very briefly in that. So that initially helped. Like the headaches got a little bit better. My neck didn't feel quite as tight. The rotation that I was noticing was not quite as intense. And then I did another BQH session last week. And more existences. Again, it doesn't matter to me what your theory is. If you think we only have one life and there's no reincarnation, that's fine. BQH and similar quantum exploration modalities are still relevant because we are infinitely connected through the Akash or through the primary substance, which is the organic consciousness love web of organic, notice I use the word organic, life. So we are connected. If you think we only have one body, one life, that's fine, but you are part of the life wave and life stream of all of this weaving. And these threads and filaments of the luminous primary substance are available to you. And we are here to heal and do significant clearing for this world so that we can go through an important shift, hopefully with Earth. Many of you know, I believe we're shifting to an iteration of existence on what I'm going to call ancient future Tara Earth. Those of us in the US in particular are here to deal with Atlantean karma. We are carrying the karmic lessons that have to be cleared and balanced for a number of the Atlantean civilizations. And put that aside, second BQH, I see two existences, and they came in so clear, so clear. There was no fumbling around. There was no trying to get the vision to clarify. It was first when I was a washerwoman somewhere in New York State, and I was starving. I worked 16 to 18 hours a day, and I died in a fire that was intentionally set by the son of the proprietor or owner of the laundry service. Not sure why it was set. The last thing that I felt in that body before my consciousness left, I died, was burning and pain in my neck and ear on the right side as I was trying to break a window open to get the younger girls out of the building. So that came in. And then a second one I was shown was another lifetime in which I had been determined to be a witch or a demonic woman because I carried the knowledge of natural herbal medicine, natural plants. This one felt like it was in the UK region, what is now UK, Ireland, Ireland or somewhere in the UK. And in that life, I was on the run in the woods for a long time, 8 or 9 months. I was starving and they were catching up to me. Guys who looked like knights or something coming in the name of the Lord, for gang raping and then killing the women that they had determined to be. So I self-immolated. I set myself on fire when they were getting close to keep from being violated in that way. And the last thing I chose to feel, I was fully in control of that death process or that leaving that body process. was the burning of the right side of my neck, yeah, even the back of the neck, but really the right side, and the right ear being on fire. And then I consciously chose to allow the soul and spirit to leave the body at that. So all of this was really interesting, and I'm sharing this with you in hopes that this can transmit some activating codes if you are someone who made of start integration work, capacity building work. So, and I don't mean for this to feel traumatic to anybody. I'm a really experienced practitioner, and I these events are not reliving trauma for me. And in session with me, if you were to do a session type like that, we would constantly making sure you were not reliving something that was causing excessive pain, trauma that you were not able to look at, observe, have compassion for, so that you could better release and improve this life in this body. So all this is very interesting to me. And I think my friend, that was Julia Wagner, another quantum and energy work practitioner who co-facilitated that with me. And don't think much else about it. Wow, this is interesting. I got some insight into how or why I've had this issue with my neck and head. And I didn't think much past that until 2 days later, I started to get pretty sick, sicker than I've been in several years, sick, and realized very clearly. And now there's some other stuff going on with time and timelines that I'm not going to discuss here because the work that I do is complex and nuanced and hard to put language to, and it's not really necessary for this short public video. But I realized in communication with the energy streams that I am part of, that I work with, and then of course with my dear friend and fellow practitioner Yael, that um, the remembrance triggered a massive, massive required clearing of not just this body, but a whole lot of other bodies that I am also part of. And I know that that can be a complex topic where it feels like a mind pretzel. And what I'll offer to you is that you don't have to know or feel it in the mind. You can just allow that information if you're new to all of this stuff and it feels woo woo, or you have an inkling that it's true, but you don't know how to conceptualize or even offer context or where to place it. Just leave the mind out of it. Let the information settle into your field with the intention that if it's appropriate, you will receive whatever activation or code or intuitive knowledge that could be helpful for you on your journey in this body, in this life, as well as maybe some of your other lives or bodies or beingnesses or not beings. Because we're also not, we're beings and we're not beings. So just allow, if this feels like a lot for you. Typically the people who are interested in listening to me speak um, are are already initiated to some degree and know what I'm talking about. But if you're new, welcome. We're glad to have you. Um, just allow the words to be vibration and be sound and receive whatever it is that may be a line for you to receive. So anyway, I became aware that this, what seemed to be a virus or some kind of a sickness, viruses are parasites, by the way, um, and energetic parasites are something that I deal with very much. So I'm going to plug again, energy into form always, and we all need to be aware of physical parasites because everybody has energetic parasites, and energetic parasites can be very small, and they can also be massive, such as aspects of the system that we currently live in of the false overlay the distorted false matrices that are overlaying atop the organic, real, intended design. So many of you who read my work know that I talk about this quite a bit, but I wanted to mention, I realized that I wasn't actually sick with a virus or a bacterial sinus infection, and that all of this is energetic. This is mucus is biofilm. So if you're new to the phrase biofilm, I have spoken about it at length a couple different times, I think on another video, but also on my page. Uh, and you can do a search for it. Biofilm is utilized physically and energetically in all of the bodies. And what's happening is that there's a massive clearing that this body that I am in right now is facilitating for many of these other soul aspect versions of myself. As right as I finished that BQH session, I didn't even notice. I didn't really even notice until I like put all this together. My neck and head weren't bothering me as much as they typically in this way. And then yesterday, the height of not feeling well with this crud, I realized that sick or not, for the first time in over 20 years, I was not aware of feeling any kind of rotation. This nerve, the nerve that I was feeling had been irritated, inflamed, or pinched, acting totally normal. And this particular facet and aspect of my own presentation of headaches, like many people, is gone and has been for several days. So that is the kind of work sometimes that is accomplished in the depth quantum modalities that I offer. I have facilitated immediate, I guess you could call them healings, but what if we call it restoration? What if we call it, instead of a healing, an immediate restoration of the true self? We shared a little bit about a BQH immersion in October. I facilitated a session in which a lady restored her complete perfect vision after many, many years of glasses and even a failed LASIK surgery. And others of you may know about a few other very, very rapid restoration or integration or capacity building things that have occurred within my session container. And the vision one is the one that I feel most aligned to share publicly, because we did share it publicly, whereas the others are private individuals. So that was really what I was feeling guided to come on and speak with you about. And many here need to switch focus. I'm seeing a collective switching of focus, to understanding, to really feeling it deep in the bones and ground into the cosmos, the cosmic grounding, not just the earthly grounding. Yes, even these small things like getting a terrible cold, part of the work that we're here to do. And this is how we restore, how we rejuvenate. This is how we bring the organic, the love, the authentic self and selves that we are and that this world is at her core. And just feel into things. Akash. I had paused many intuitive live streams for a while. I had a few very, very busy weeks in my private session container as well as family life. I will be returning, so I am officially taking names now. So if you would like to get on my list for a mini Akashic, quantum Akashic session that I deliver via the live streams. This is the only low ticket way to work with me. 15 to 20 minutes. Right now they're $35. They go up to 44 on January 1st. Again, the only low ticket way to work with me consistently or to receive some kind of a shorter energy transmission. I am taking names. I'll be resuming those shortly. I'm being guided to remind or to mention for anybody who may be local-ish to me in the Wichita, Kansas area, because of this process of clearing and reintegrating and capacity building and restoring neck thing. I am not at the Solstice Spirit Fair as intended today. If I am feeling better, continuing to feel better, I will plan to be in attendance for mini sessions Friday and Saturday. And I will also be speaking live and doing a live transmission on Saturday late afternoon or early evening at the Solstice Spirit Fair. So, I'm just going to, since I'm here and my voice is holding up okay, I'm feeling into the collective Akash and seeing if there's anything that would like to come through. Somebody has a scarf on their dog. The dog does not like it and would like to have it taken off. Okay, and that's a reminder that I do. I am currently offering emotional release and mini Akashic readings for companion animals as well. It's something that I've offered off and on intermittently during my practice. And for the winter season going into January, I have re-added it. So if that's something you're interested in, do feel free to reach out to me. The dog that I'm seeing is shaggy, mostly brownish. There is a skin condition. So somebody like the dog is showing me skin condition. It may be equivalent to like eczema or something like that in a person. But there is the bandana or scarf is making an area sweatier and uncomfortable and exacerbating the skin issue, and the dog would like it off. This is, again, as I've been speaking about, the time to come into silence and stillness. And silence, when I say silence, I don't mean not speaking at all. I mean a silence within, quieting within, that you are able to hear your own voice and the voice of God and determine if those are one and the same, how that works in your life for you. We are in a time of more rest, more stillness, quiet. Your worth is not determined by your doingness, but by simply your beingness. And that I'm seeing some of the archetypes of the Akash really, really reiterating that. I was guided to post a message about triangulation and other course control dynamics and tactics, especially given the family tradition and connection that many people experience during this time of year and the alleged holidays that occur during this time of year. The Akash is wanting to offer a word of encouragement about saying no, setting boundaries, holding those boundaries. You do not have to do A, B, C, or XYZ because your family wants you to, or because you've always done it that way. You are invited and encouraged to make a new tradition or none at all that's healthy and nurturing and stable for you. I do need to wrap up soon. I'm seeing a tambourine a tambourine, a red and white tambourine with a message that there are multiple people here who need to really get into sound. So I'm talking about stillness and silence within, but with get into sound, get with the sound, the vibrations that can both clear and activate you. So you notice I'm very physical when I'm talking and transmitting. That's part of my personal flow. And what I'm seeing is there's a few of you here who need to get a tambourine and get to going with it. And what's also being recommended is to dance naked like nobody is watching. Lock the door, dance naked. That's what I did. I set the container here, listening to music that makes me feel good, while calling in what I needed to call in and danced. Really women, you need to move your hips. Probably everybody does, but like I have been being called back into like the flow of the mother, the flow of the goddess. And so that's been coming up for me a lot. And it feels like the Akash wanted to share it. I am seeing the lion. The lion is personally symbolic, but I know likely metaphorical and symbolic for many of you as well. The lion and his crown are very prevalent within this version of the general collective Akash that I'm seeing. Before I close, I wanted to mention that Yael and I are doing a raffle. Even for those of you who aren't interested in one of our, frankly, amazing and very effective, strongly contained in a gentle and loving way, joint advanced quantum energy clearing and repair sessions. If you are interested in us and want to support our work, as well as potentially make it more likely that somebody who's actually in need of this kind of a session could receive one, we invite anybody who's interested and anyone who's not interested in the session but is interested in supporting our work and potentially helping provide a session for somebody else who needs it and can't afford one, to purchase a ticket. We are, because of this illness and some scheduling conflicts, instead of drawing tonight or tomorrow the way we originally were going to, we are extending the raffle to the 31st, and we will draw then. And how this works for anyone who's interested, Yael and I offer specifically a joint advanced quantum energy clearing and repair session that is very effective. This is deliverance. So we are delivering you into a more whole form back to yourself with you in varying levels of participation. This is for people who are feeling very targeted or feeling very lost, or feeling like they really, really, really want to initiate and want to get clarified, and this is a great place to start for that. So this joint session that we offer for $620. We are selling tickets for the raffle. One ticket is $17 a piece. We tried to set it low enough that it would be reasonably affordable for a wide range of people. And yes, you can buy more than one ticket. There will be one grand prize if we sell the minimum number of tickets required, which we set at 26, to be fairly compensated for offering the session. And so one grand prize winner of this joint session, it tends to go 90 minutes to 2 hours. There will be 8 first prize winners who win a mini Akashic session with me that's delivered via the live streams. Those are valued at $44. And then we will have 2 runners up. Will while they don't win a session, their name, they automatically gain 1 ticket entry into the raffle that we'll do. The next one we'll do in the spring. So there are instructions on my page, on Yael's page, about how to sign up. You basically send your $17 to me on PayPal, and include your handle and maybe your email address in a note so we know who you are. If you're not someone we've worked with before, we definitely need to be able to contact you if you are the recipient. And we'll be announcing on Twitter and Instagram as well when we do the drawing. And this is a really, really beautiful way to support us while and to potentially win some really clarified energy work while, and again, if you're not interested in that double joint session, to support somebody else who is interested in potentially. So thank you guys so much for jumping on with me. I hope even though my voice is a little scratchy and my nose is stuffy, that this energetic transmission reached you in the way that it was intended to. Now, as we're closing, I'm just going to set the intention that everybody leaves with the energy they came with. Nobody who's been present has successfully, accidentally, or intentionally courted or hooked anybody else who's present, watching now or later. And I invite all of you to check out my offerings. I actually did post again this morning about the quantum combination offering that I have as a promo special right now, based on what I myself just experienced. So I really targeted getting to the root. What were the multiple causes of this, and why had it been so difficult to navigate and clarify and integrate this? I did that with lots of quantum clearing and energy repair. And then I went into 2 separate BQH sessions and received even more information codes and activations to clear this ongoing issue with my neck and my head that I've had. And so in honor of that, quantum combination, 2 sessions, one with me, one would be the quantum clearing and energy repair that I offer, 60-minute session, and then sometime within 2 weeks, it's a 14-day container, we meet for a full-length BQH session. And I'm offering that to you for $610. If you paid for those separately, that would be $999. And I really wanted to honor this process of clarification that I myself just went through and offer something similar to those who may be feeling aligned. If you are somebody I have worked with extensively in 2023 or 2024, and or are somebody that I have connected with pretty closely online and are interested in reaching out to me about a financial arrangement, I am open to that. I will tell you that I cannot, because of the time involved, go below. I do have a bottom line, like a minimum that I cannot go below for the time involved with those 2 sessions. But I would love to offer this to those who are aligned, regardless of full ability to pay the full current promo rate of $610. You can reach out to me privately. Please know that nobody is entitled to my energy the same way I'm not entitled to yours, and no one is entitled to you. So if this came up this morning, if you like or respond to something on social media and the person you were liking or trying to talk to doesn't respond to you, I really encourage you not to take that personally. Many of us have very, very busy lives that are full and rich and amazing outside of the online space that may even take priority and precedence over engaging on social media. And while it is part of my job and I enjoy getting to know you all, I do not respond to DMs or to emails that are not relevant to the work that I do and that I'm offering. I will respond to DMs from established clients who are paid clients who have a question, or if they've bought Descend to Ascend, which is my full access, most access to me that any of my offerings extends. Those people, it's a little bit different. But if you DM me, hi, you're so pretty, or I had a dream and you're my twin flame, you will not be responded to. And again, a business email. Happy to converse with you if you are interested in booking a session and you're trying to decide where to start. You have a question you wanted to ask briefly, go ahead, shoot me an email, or better yet, book a discovery call. I would be honored to connect with you in those ways. I am wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Please let me know how I may be able to assist you in this process of inner alchemy that I offer in my depth quantum energy work practice. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.